As you know from my videos, Brexit did not happen immediately after the Brexit referendum in 2016. There were exhausting negotiations between the UK and the EU, first about the exit of the UK, and then about the future relationship between the EU and the UK. After the official Brexit on January 31st in 2020, where the UK officially left the EU and with it the Parliament, there was a transitional period that lasted until December 31st in 2020 to implement the new relationship. There are indeed some longer transitional period for some areas, but this was the main one. And people are indeed talking a lot about the level of preparation for Brexit on the different sides, or the lack of preparation. So in a number of my videos, I give you an overview about the extent of preparations by different countries involved, and of course the UK and the EU as the main players. And today I will tell you about the preparations in Greece. Greece, like many other European Union member states, undertook a series of preparations in response to the Brexit referendum, which took place on June 23rd in 2016, resulting in the decision by the United Kingdom to leave the EU. The transition period, during which the UK and the EU negotiated their future relationship, lasted until December 31st in 2020. And of course, this brings me to some key aspects about Greece's Brexit preparations during this period. After the referendum, the Greek government, along with other EU member states, initiated assessments to analyze the potential impact of the UK's withdrawal on various sectors of the Greek economy. This included examining trade relations, tourism, fisheries, and the status of Greek citizens living and working in the UK. Greece, as a member of the EU Single Market and Customs Union, had to prepare for the possibility of new customs procedures and tariffs once the UK left the EU. Greek authorities worked on adapting their customs and border management systems to handle potential changes in trade flows between Greece and the UK. Throughout the Brexit negotiations, Greece actively participated in the discussions to ensure its interests were represented. Greece, being a country with a significant maritime industry and fishing sector, paid attention to negotiations relating to fisheries access and quotas. Ensuring the rights of Greek citizens living and working in the UK, as well as the rights of UK citizens in Greece, was a priority. The Greek government provided information and guidance to citizens on how to secure their residency status and related rights post-Brexit. The UK is an important source of tourism for Greece. Authorities in Greece worked to minimize any potential disruptions to tourism flows between the two countries, particularly with regard to travel and transportation. And the Greek government took steps to ensure the continuity of transportation and logistics between Greece and the UK, particularly in terms of air and maritime connectivity. The Greek financial sector assessed potential impacts on banking, finance, and investment flows between Greece and the UK, and the government and financial institutions monitored developments closely to ensure stability. Greek authorities also reviewed and potentially adjusted regulations, standards, and legal framework to account for any changes in EU-UK relations that might affect various sectors of the economy. It's important to note that the whole transition period was characterized by a high level of uncertainty as the UK and EU negotiated their future relationship, including trade and other key aspects. And during this time, Greece, like other EU member states, aimed to mitigate potential disruptions while preparing for a range of scenarios that might arise after the transition period's conclusion on December 31st. Before the end of the transition period on December 31st in 2020, Brexit preparations were considered highly important for all affected countries, both within the European Union and the United Kingdom. The transition period began after the UK officially left the EU on January 31st in 2020, and it allowed time for both parties to negotiate their future relationship and make necessary arrangements. Some prepared more, others prepared less. That's another reason for these videos. And if you want to know something else right now, the next video is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.